Hello, this is Alexander Green, Chief Investment Strategist with the Oxford Club. We're in the thick of earnings season now. We're going to be hearing all about corporate earnings over the next several weeks. But before I get into that, I want to talk to you about three biases that might be affecting your portfolio. And you probably think you're very objective and they're not affecting you, but I guarantee you at least one of these biases is affecting your investment performance. I want to remind you before I do that you can click on the link below and subscribe to this channel and not miss any of my market updates. We're all biased. We try to be objective, but we fall prey to various biases. And the first is recency bias. Investors have a strong propensity to think that whatever has been happening is going to continue to happen. So if we're in a bull market and stocks are headed higher, there tends to be complacency that sets in. Maybe they have too much money in stocks. Maybe the stocks are trading at unreasonable valuations, but they're complacent because they think whatever is going to be happening is going to continue happening. But it can happen just as badly in reverse. If the market's bottoming, people think, oh, no, I don't want to buy. Things will only go lower. And they tend to think that falling markets will continue to be falling markets. And so investors are actually right most of the time, but they're wrong at both ends, the highs and the lows. And so you have to be aware of recency bias and how it can affect your thinking. Make sure you don't have more money in stocks than you should, and make sure that your profits are protected by trailing stops. Political bias. I told my liberal friends that when George W. Bush got elected and Donald J. Trump got elected, that they shouldn't abandon the stock market, even though they didn't agree with their policies. And I told my conservative friends that when Barack Obama got elected and when Joseph Biden got elected, not to abandon the market, because stocks have given good returns during Republican administrations and during Democratic administrations. And the bottom line is that commerce trumps politics. And so even though most of us have strong political views, you can't let them run your portfolio. If you're negative on the future because of who's holding the White House and the Congress, or if you're unduly positive about the future because of who holds the White House and control in Congress, it can cause you to make missteps in your portfolio. So you don't want to let your political convictions drive your investment program. And the biggest and most important bias is negativity bias, which permeates the national media. And I talk about this quite a bit. Part of it's just the nature of the news. People don't want to hear about the buildings that don't burn and the planes that don't crash and the companies that don't file for bankruptcy. So the nature of the news is to be negative because most people are experiencing relative peace and prosperity in their lives. So the world is delivered through the dark lens of the media, where there are 17 negative stories for every positive story, according to studies. And you can let that weigh on you. And so I've often said, follow the trend lines, not the headlines. We have to be consumers of news because we need data. And so you can let the negative nature of the news, and in particular social media, which is even more negative and sensational than the mainstream media, cause you to make moves in your portfolio that you wouldn't make otherwise. So if you stay on the alert for those three biases, recency bias, political bias, and negativity bias, and make your investment decisions based on a sound investment program and the discipline to follow through, rather than thoughts you may be feeling or emotions you may be feeling, your portfolio is likely to do much better over time. So if you'd like to read more of my views on the market, they're available every week for free in Liberty Through Wealth. I encourage you to subscribe at libertythroughwealth.com. That's all for today. Thanks so much. Again, this is Alexander Green. Thanks for watching.